Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with Our Crafty Playdate, and we are making a card today using one of my very favorite things, which is wine. So I made this in a class recently, and it had a lot of layers, and it was a little more complicated, and I wanted to simplify it and show you also how to make a good peekaboo card. So this card, when you open it, the wine glass stays inside, and then it says, because adulting is hard. Which, if that doesn't explain it, I don't know what would. This is the card that we made in my class. So it is a panel on top of a Fresh Fig card. So it's the same base, only we stamped right on the base here, and here we added a panel. And then we also had the white that is here inside, right? It's there, so there's another white layer here. And then you had to stamp again to do the wine glass inside, so you had to stamp it twice. And I thought, oh my gosh. So many extra steps, so much bulk. It's cute, but it would be super fast and easy to do it this way. We had used the Stamparatus with this, and so I said, well, we can use the Stamparatus with this too. So I'm putting out this video to show you how to make this card quick and easy, like this, and it would be cute with just about anything, but what's better than wine? Seriously. All right, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to do this. And then I'm going to tag the people, or send it to the people who took the class so that they can see how to do the peekaboo card, because I did talk about it a lot during class. Okay, so we are going to be using Fresh Fig. Fresh Fig cardstock is one of the in colors that will be retiring in June when the new catalog comes out. So if you like this color, and it is an awesome wine color, if you like this color, you need to order it soon because it is going to go away. And even though the catalog doesn't go away until June, if this paper or the Fresh Fig ink or the Fresh Fig marker, we're using all three of these, if any of these things sell out before the end of the catalog, they're just gone. Okay, they're not replacing them. So if you decide to get the ink, be sure that you get the re-inker at the same time, the ink refill. Otherwise, when your pad dries out, you will not be able to get the color again. So be sure you get this. Okay, Fresh Fig. Okay, so this is a general standard Fresh Fig card base, all right? And we are going to do a cutout, but first we're going to stamp on it. So I pulled in my Stamparatus. Let's see what I got here. All right, I've got all my panels on here. When you order your Stamparatus, it comes with a couple of things. It comes with 2 of these clear plastic plates. It already has a grid right on here on the glass, and then it comes with one of these black foam mats. You need the black foam mat when you use a stamp that is photopolymer like this one. That's clear and see-through. You'll need the black foam mat. When you are stamping with just the red rubber stamps that cling, either the cling or the red rubber like this, then that are called clear mount, then you do not need this, but it comes with it, so you're good. It does not come with these, however, and you need them. These are grid paper. They're grid paper specially cut to fit right here, and you can use it for measurement, and you'll see how I use it all the time. In every video that I use a Stamparatus, I use my grid paper because you need it. You just do. All right, so here is what we are going to do. We know that this is a standard card base. It's going to ultimately fold right here. But first, I'm going to do my stamping and my cutting. So let's go ahead and get started. I have marked on my grid paper. I don't know if you can see these little tiny hash marks. I mark on my grid paper, and then I know right where to put stuff. But this one's easy peasy. It's going right up against the edge. I'm using this bottom line here all the way along the edge, and I'm just lining it up and I'm sticking it down. Okay. I'm going to do my wine glasses first with my Fresh Fig ink. These are my wine glasses. This is the top of my card because it's going to fold this way. This is the top of my card here. This is the bottom of my card. I know it looks upside down. It's because of the way that I'm stamping it here, and I recommend you do this. Okay, so this is my wine glasses. So if this were to be upside down, you can see how that would stamp, right? It would be like this, right? Okay, you got it. Like the sound effect. Fresh Fig ink. This is the one that you need the re-inker. And I am going to stamp on it. Now, I only want, I don't want to use black here. I don't want it to be too overwhelming. I just want it to be like a watermark. Because what's better for wine than a watermark? Maybe a wine mark. I don't know. So I'm going to press 1, 2, 3, lift. I'm going to lift this straight out, move it down 1 hinge, ink it again, close it. 1, 2, 3, lift. Move it down one more time. Not one more time. I'm going to do it a couple of times. Now, this awesome feature of the Stamparatus is what makes it really, honestly, so special. You can, if your stamp is about an inch or less, it works super well to do this. So if you have a sentiment, happy birthday, you could do happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday in different colors or just in a straight line, and it works really well. And then you don't have to eyeball to try and make it even, right? It's going to always be even because it's moving down exactly the same amount of measurement here, exactly the same increment. So there you go. And it's a straight line of them. Perfect. Now I'm going to turn this. So this is how I stamped. I'm going to just rotate it like this. Okay, and stick it right back in. Now I've got my wine glass here. Okay, I am going to use black because if you look inside my card, this wine glass is actually stamped in black memento. And the reason that I did that is because I'm going to color it in here. So I'm going to stamp it in black. And just because also it's easier. And then I don't have to clean my stamp. So I'm also lazy. Lazy wine drinker. Wow, that makes me sound like a real winner, right? All right, I'm going to press 1, 2, 3. Now, if you are a messy Marvin like I am, you would probably want to spray and wipe off your thing before you put your fingers on the reverse side, but you know, if I'm covered with ink, I look like a real artist. Okay, so I'm going to pull that out. That is my wine glass. Now, in order to get the cutout, I am going to use the rectangle stitched framelits, and these are new in your Occasions catalog. Your Occasions catalog looks like this. Sorry, this on the outside, and those rectangular framelits are kind of hidden. So they're sneaky Pete. There they are right there in the corner. See, hard to see, but fabulous. Look, they made a frame here. We did that card kind of like that once. These framelits are amazing. And now my catalog has ink. So we'll put that up there and clean that later. Because there are so many. So I just had a customer last night tell me she was super surprised at how many they were. They nest. So, you know, there are lots of sizes. We're obviously using this one right here that's missing. But this is perfect for a sentiment. If you have a sentiment in there or whatever you have, you can do it. Another cool feature is there's a stitch line, then the cut line, then the stitch line. So when you cut something, like on here, it's the negative is out here. It has a stitch line around the outer edge, so that's cute. But your negative is actually going to have a stitch line around it too. See that stitch line? This one's drawn on, so ignore it. But that negative is going to have a stitch line too. So this is usable, and this one's usable, and they both are adorable. So, all right. So now I am going to use a framelit to cut out that wine glass. Okay. All right. So I already have my framelit out here if I did not misplace it, because that happens. Oh, it's here. I found it. And I'm going to move my Stamparatus just for a minute so I can bring in my Big Shot. I almost never cut in front of you guys. Not because I'm not capable or worried about my skill level here, although that sometimes comes into question, but because it shakes the table. So just bear with me for a few minutes. We're going to need the black again. We're done with that Fresh Fig ink, but we're going to need the black again. I am going to put this on here. Now this, when you order a Big Shot, it comes with this thin die adapter plate, and you need that in there. Okay, you don't use it when you're embossing, but when you're cutting, you do. I'm going to set this on here. I'm going to center this as best I can and just kind of line it up. That looks pretty good. What do you think? Good? Looks good? Okay, and then you add another cutting plate. Most of mine are disreputable like this. It's okay. They still work. I just carefully drop it on there so you don't shift your die. If you're worried about shifting your die, did I shift my die? I did. If you're worried about shifting your die, if it's bothering you, just either use the magnetic platform or grab a Post-it note like this and then line it up again the way you like it, and take your Post-it note with the sticky side here and just lay it across. Okay, and it's going to hold that in place while I cut it, so I don't have to worry so much. And I'm going to cut. See, you thought, oh, she doesn't do it because she needs sticky notes. That's not it. See how you're shaking. I'm sorry. Oh, Oh, done. Okay, if your Big Shot makes big popping, cracking noises like that, it's just it working, and it's fine. All right, so I'm going to take this out of here. This Post-it note just peels right off. Use it for another day. Look at this. So here's my hole for my wine glass, right? There's my framelit. Here's my hole for my wine glass. Look at this. If this is not a badge of honor, what is it? It looks like a brownie patch for moms, right? A brownie patch for mom. We could just sew it right on our tank tops or something. All right. So now this is done. I'm going to go ahead and make my card a real card. All right. A badge of honor. A wine badge of honor. Is that a thing? I think it's going to be a thing now. Okay, so there is my card. Now you're going to say, oh my gosh, how are you ever going to line up that cup in there again with your white piece that's going in there? Well, it's easy because I've got the Stamparatus. And it's already set up, if you recall. So here's my Stamparatus. I am going to be using a piece of paper that when I would put it in here, it would leave a little bit of a fresh fig frame around the outside. See that? So it's 1/4 of an inch smaller this way and 1/4 of an inch smaller this way. So when I go to place it on here, I know that I used this line before, so I'm going to kind of eyeball it up 1/4 of an inch, and I'm not going to put it all the way against the edge. I'm going in 1/4 of an inch. So see that? This mark right here is 1/4 of an inch, so that worked handy dandy. I also made little hash marks. I just took a pencil when I lined it up originally and did that, so that worked. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to black ink it again with my Memento. Memento is my go-to black. Even before I started at Stampin' Up, Memento was my dude. It was my favorite. Okay, so here you go. I'm going to stamp it. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? No, I didn't forget to do anything. What am I talking about? All right, 1, 2, 3, lift. Wine glass is perfect. And now I need the Because Adulting is Hard. So the Because Adulting is Hard, you may not hate me. Do not hate me. It came from this stamp set called More Than Words, which is awesome, right? Which was released at the very end of Celebration as kind of an add-on. I don't think you can get it right now, but there is a very good chance. Well, I don't know about very good chance. I am completely just talking off the other side of my face here, but there's a chance that it'll make it into the next catalog. And if not, you can write me nasty letters. But that is what this came from, and I loved it. Because what goes better? So that is what we're using. And because it is a photopolymer stamp that we're going to be using, we do need that little black mat that came with our Stamparatus. All right. So I'm going to just slide that in here. The reason it's sticking to my paper where I put it is I used temporary adhesive. All right. So anyway, I'm going to put that in there. Now, in order to line up the Because Adulting is Hard, I'm going to take this plate off here just so it's not confusing anybody here. Because I wanted to line that up, I would normally just take the stamp and put it right where I wanted it. One thing that you need to be a little cautious of with this card, where did I put it, is the opening here, right? You don't want it to be too close to your wine glass. Otherwise, you're going to see parts of the word, and you don't want to. You want that to be kind of a surprise. So when you are going to line it up, the best thing to do is just take your stamp and lay it right there where you think it's going to stamp. Way over here, you can kind of do this. Yep, it won't show. Okay, good. I've already done that. It's going to be way over here. And I did it on my other plate. See, so you come with two, and it works really well. The reason that I didn't just stamp it at the exact same time as that wine glass is because this one is photopolymer and that one is red rubber. They're different heights. So I would have gotten a mushed wine glass and a barely visible sentiment. So this way it will work the best. I've put my mat in there, right? Yep, everything's stuck down here. I'm going to ink it. Come on, get happy. Okay, see, thinking about wine. If I were thinking about coffee, I'd also be singing, just FYI. All right, and now I'm going to stamp it. 1, 2, 3, lift. Good. If I didn't have a good image here, this is one of the beauties of the Stamparatus too. If that didn't come out well and I was missing parts of my letters, all I'd have to do, just not touch it. Don't touch your paper. Don't move it. Ink it again, close it, lift it, and it would just stamp right in exactly the same place. There's no trying to finagle and eyeball and stuff like that. All right, this one is done. I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to put this aside to wash later because you guys know how to do that, and you know that I don't, so I don't want to fool anybody. All right, this is my Stampin' Write marker, and it is in Fresh Fig. You get them in the set of the in color. So there are 5 in this set. So you definitely want to get those before they retire. But anyway, this is the wine color that matches my paper and my other ink. And this end with the fat line means it is the brush tip, and this is the fine point. And I'm going to use the brush tip and do my best to color within the lines without putting my head in the camera angle. All right. You don't need to see my gray hair. Oh, when did I get old? Probably got old from not drinking enough wine, right? That happens. All right. So I'm going to just color that in, and I'm being a little more careful than I normally would. I don't know why. All right, so there you go. Because adulting is hard, I am going to use a little bit of glue. Most of my glue here that I have on the table is stuff that I've had out forever. I'm going to put a little liquid glue on there, and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm just going to angle. And because I know that I measured it with my Stamparatus, it's going to be right without me having to worry about checking my peekaboo. If I just give a kind of even angle, I just glued it in completely the wrong way. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm crazy. All right, so you would not have done that. You would be so much better than me. All right, so there you go. It would go like this, and when it closes, it would look like that. Of course, now mine is going to glue shut the minute I glue it closed. But you can see that as long as you leave a lip around it, you don't need to double check it. You can just leave your thing around it there. Don't put your finger on it, and then close it, and it will work. If you closed this one and sent it to your friend, she would think you were drinking while you made it because you made a big boo-boo. But anyway, that is how you make this card the right way. And you're all set. I hope this helped. If you have questions about my sanity, you can email me. If you have questions about how to make this card, by all means, leave them in the comments and I will respond to you. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours. You can find me at this website here, or you can find me in my Facebook group. But please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook group so that you don't miss any of these informative and somewhat witty videos that are very human after all. All right, thank you very much for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.